Okay, so here we go. 5-5. Then can we shake hands, please? I didn't know it will become this heated. We just did.
No, it's the not doing that's the problem, nah.
I didn't know handshakes would cost the world like this. What is wrong with Pakistan? What is the problem? Why are they begging for an Indian handshake? That you remember the Virendra Sehwag story? Okay, let me tell you the story at the start of the show.
Yeah.
So 2004, India versus Pakistan in Multan. Okay, Virendra Sehwag 309. So Shoaib Akhtar is bowling bouncer after bouncer. So Virendra Sehwag is leading ducking. And Shoaib Akhtar is saying,
Did you see this? There's a report that says that sources are suggesting that PCB has threatened to boycott its next Asia Cup game against UAE if its demands are not met.
good. The chairman is Pakistani. Mohsin Naqvi is the ACC chairman. But क्या फर्क पड़ता है? करने दो. All that will happen is a hefty fine will be imposed,
Yeah.
and they'll get bankrupt. Let them happen. They want to cut the one where the tree where they're sitting. Good for them. They're on a self sabotage goal, same side goal. Anyway, coming back to the story. So then what happened is, so Virendra Sehwag was continuously sort of leaving balls this, and Shoaib Akhtar is telling him, "Arey marna, arey marna." So after a while, Sehwag stands there and says, "Idhar aa." So Shoaib says, "Kya?" He says, "Idhar aa." So he goes. He says, "Yeah, tu ball डाल रहा है, भीख मांग रहा है." So then Shoaib says, "He said, हाँ, तो ball डाल रहा है कि भीख मांग रहा है?" Pakistan here, अरे handshake कर, handshake कर, handshake कर. क्यों भाई? नहीं करेंगे. Somebody is now saying apparently the Indian dressing room door was closed in front.
Yeah.
Big deal.
So what?
Come on, it's my
I mean-
dressing room. I'll do whatever I want. You get lost. Why should I allow you to enter into my dressing room? You remember that Billwood full story? Then we all take over. 1932 Bodyline. Okay, Douglas Jardine. Very, they've figured out a way to stop Bradman. So they are in their dressing room, the English players. And Bill Woodfull, the Australian captain, comes and knocks. So Jardine says, "What?" So he says, "One of your players have called me a bastard." So Jardine says, "Really?" So this guy says, "What?" He turns to his own players and says, "Which of you bastards have called this bastard a bastard?" And Jardine leaves. Come on, boss. Sport allows for protest. Indians
First of all, it's not a written rule anywhere. Where is it written that you have to shake hands after a game? There's no such rule in cricket. I don't think there's any such rule in any sporting tournament or any sport for that matter. It's just a customary thing. It's a tradition that we do out of goodwill. And this is not a place, India did not require to have any.
Where do you stand on PCB's and ACC's written complaint to the ICC to now remove match referee Andy Pike?
How could he have controlled that, first of all? How could
He was the one who said, "No, that at the toss you don't need to shake hands." How could he do that?
So what? I mean, again, where is it written in the rule book that you have to shake hands?
How can the match referee do that, Ashok? That's the contention. So basically, India is not good on Suryakumar Yadav is on the right. I mean, Andy Pike goli chala raha hai.
Actually, things have come a full circle. If you see from where we started about 24 hours ago, we were talking about India being in a precarious situation. Things seem to have completely changed, and I don't think the story is over yet. I think it is evolving as we speak. It is going to escalate. I don't know what form it will take, but I'm not sure what exactly is the point of asking for the match referee to be removed. I mean, it beats me. Like, I agree with you, Gargi, that it's not written. I mean, it is a spirit of sportsmanship, but it is not a mandatory thing that is written there. And it's something that we've been debating, that symbolically how do you protest? And I think it couldn't have been a better show when it came to last year.
Suppose the match referee, that is right here. Suppose the match referee didn't say that don't shake hands.
What was he supposed to do?
No, and he said, okay, don't. He said, okay, go shake hands. Surya would say, no, I won't.
वो पकड़ के थोड़ी ऐसे हाथ में ना
Exactly, क्या
What
वो स्कूल मास्टर थोड़ी है कि उसको फिर बोलेगा नहीं करेंगे
hold both their hands and then make them shake it. How?
उसका हाथ छुड़ा के चला जाएगा भाड़ में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? So it is India's. I mean, I think this is all a diversionary tactic.
Absolutely.
एक crybaby type acting कर रहा है. Mohsin Naqvi is posting one after the other tweet saying, "For me, everything my country comes
Prestige
first."
of my country.
So then what is Suryakumar Yadav saying? He's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
My country's prestige comes first. So what's the problem? If you can say your country's prestige, Indian players will say our country's prestige. What is the issue? But On a serious note, I mean, now that you've launched a complaint, a formal complaint against Andy Pycroft to the ICC, Gargi, what Andy Pycroft, he's not an India-Pakistan expert. How can I get that? Without even any background, somebody's not told him, the ACC was not aware. He's just gone and said, no handshake. Kabhi ho sakta hai ye.
No, I don't think so. I think everyone involved in this match knew what was going on.
Correct.
I think in the cricketing fraternity, there is nobody that doesn't know the history of the India-Pakistan rivalry. It is one of the biggest rivalries in cricket. And I don't believe, or I refuse to believe that Andy did not know about it. But at the same time, what was he supposed to do? That's my question. How can you launch, or what is the basis of this complaint saying that he should have not said that you don't have to shake hands at the toss? How does that change anything? Suryakumar Yadav still wouldn't have shook hands.
Sure.
Absolutely agree. I mean, look, in these situations, you cannot create a formal job description document saying this is what you're supposed to do. Tomorrow you will say you've not worn your shoelaces and therefore it is a mark of disrespect. I mean, this is really nitpicking at the end of the day. And there is no end to this because once you start on this train, it can go on and on and you can stretch it to whatever convenience you really want. And that doesn't help anybody. I think already three things have happened. One, the focus has gone away from cricket, and I think maybe that is deliberate. But I think an analysis of what happened, what needs to be done, and there's a serious amount of work to be done. It's clearly not happening. Second, like you said correctly, this is a diversionary tactic. It is actually more noise than substance because you're creating more of this, and there is no end to this. And finally, I agree with you. I mean, what exactly could you have done in this kind of situation? There is no question of getting them forcibly to come and hug each other or kiss or shake hands. That's not going to happen, right? So I think we need to be cognizant of where the game is being played, the India-Pakistan rivalry. When we were having lunch, Bode, I was just doing a quick check, the history of where do people shake hands, what are the instances. I've not been able to get into it in far more detail than I would love to. But there are sports where, and there are events where you don't do this. Yeah, there you go. So
baseball, you actually don't. Individuals can, but as a team, at the end of every baseball game, people don't shake hands.
Yeah.
It's a tradition. People don't. During COVID, nobody shook each other's hands. So medically, stopped.
Yeah.
So who is telling him? Okay, I'll give you a cricketing example. 2023 World Cup. Angelo Matthews timed out Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Teams did not shake hands 2 years back. How many instances do you want? Sandeep Lamichan, Scotland.
Did anything happen to the match referee?
No, man. I mean, चलो एक सी और serious बात पूछ रहे हैं मौसिफ नकवी जो कह रहे हैं ना कि sportsman spirit and people should behave with grace. There is a certain Fahim Ashraf who keeps spews venom on social media and vile comments and vulgar comments and disrespectful comments. He's part of the Pakistan team. Why have you not stopped his sportsman spirit? I mean, did you not think about sportsman spirit then when you include such a person? You think India would go and shake hands with Fahim Ashraf? Which world do you live in? And why? Why should India go and entertain somebody who's as disrespectful as Fahim Ashraf? What does Mohsin Naqvi feel? That no, there's no problem. We will put Fahim there and India in all their senses will come and shake hands with Fahim. What for? I mean, I don't just get this where Mr. Naqvi wants to take this. As the ACC chair, you know what? He's put this on ICC's court because the ICC chairman is an Indian. He's trying to get Jack. Because if ICC removes, he'll say, I've got my face silver. If ICC doesn't remove, they'll say discrimination.
Yeah.
So, either way, you try and push Jai. You know what I would have done? If I would have been Jai, I would have said, okay, this is my country. I recuse myself, go take the top.
But one question that I want to ask you is, Mohsin Naqvi is clearly taking sides. But as the ACC chairman, isn't he supposed to be neutral? That's the point that I'm not getting. Is that not, a sort of violation of his duties? That he's taking sides in this? It is about both the prestige of India and Pakistan. India is, the reason why they did all of that was to not counter, but as a show of respect for the victims of the terror attack state-sponsored by Pakistan. So it's not just about the prestige of Pakistan. If the prestige of Pakistan is hampered by India not shaking their hands, then I don't know what you need to say
What
about
is
some
he?
country.
What
I
is the
mean,
point? Somebody is saying he wants to Sinha. Where are you guys? I want to meet you. But you can, but you won't shake hands.
who gets removed then?
Yeah. Oh boy. Ashok, where is this headed?
I told you. I mean, there is no end to this. Where do you draw the line saying now this is it? You can go on stretching this
When
argument.
you remove Pycroft, yes, no. What happens to look, principles of natural justice, he needs to be given a hearing. He'll say you
For sure.
can't hear me.
Yeah.
How do you remove me without investigation?
Yeah, yeah.
And what are his charges? First of all,
That he's not, that he's not
What is his
disbursed
job description?
he's not disbursed the responsibilities of the match referee and allowed this controversy to happen or whatever. That's the charge.
No, but again, I'm asking this question: where do you draw the line? Will you go back and say, okay, we will check the social media posts of the players for the last 3 months? Within the last 3 months, they shouldn't have posted something which is inflammatory. I mean, you can go on and on and on this. I mean, I don't think all this can be put to scrutiny. I think what is happening on the ground, you need to, one, look at the cricket, two, look at the larger context of the geopolitics that is happening. And like you said, Gargi, everyone is aware of the rivalry, of the context, and you've got to draw the line there. It's really stretching this beyond imagination.
but the formal complaint first.
What is Gargi's phone trying to say to her?
The phone is saying,
Don't shake hands.
Don't you dare. No, but the question is, when they've written that formal complaint, what's the, like,
That's the charge. That he's not disbursed the job of the match referee, of the
okay, but what's that job? That you did not let
yes,
the,
that you allowed the spirit of the game to be violated.
but again, then you go back to the rule book. Where is it written that a handshake is
2.1 is vague. 2.1 is vague where it says that you have to play within a certain whatever domain, conduct and all that. I all morning today I read 2.1 and it continued, but never has it explicitly been mentioned that you have to shake hands. So if anyone comes and says this is what it is, the Indians wouldn't do it.
So-
So up the 21st, what you have to.
Subject.
So you remove a match referee, you put Ashok as match referee. So Ashok will also be removed because Indians will not shake hands. Will Ashok go and fist fight with them and say, hello, please shake hands? Indians will not shake hands on the 21st.
And you know what will happen if they do, which they won't. But if there was a certain team and they crumbled under the pressure of whatever is happening and then went out and shook hands, imagine what the public would say.
अरे नहीं करेगा.
हाँ, नहीं
Because it
करेगा,
comes to
अलग
women.
बात है, but
नहीं करेगा. And I've also been told by multiple people, and I'm putting it on record. I've done a video on this also. I've been told by multiple people that there were broadcasters, there were officials, the sheikhs were there to give the awards and all of that. Local Emirati were there, and Indians were there, and Pakistanis, everybody was there. The 10 minutes or 11 minutes they waited at the presentation. Aksar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, and Surya, who were receiving awards, were there. The Pakistanis didn't turn up. And the reason given was Sanjay Manjrekar, being an Indian, was conducting the presentation. What is this nonsense? And then Shaheen Afridi eventually turns up, takes his award, and then they go and spill handshake gate and this whole handshake floating controversy in the press conference. So clearly they realized that they had to hide behind something, and this was cooked. According to me, this is a very flawed attempt to divert blame, to take their own fans for a ride, and try and somehow protect an incompetent, nincompoop cricket team who don't even stand a chance against India. How do you both of you react?
no, absolutely. I think it's a huge distraction. It's one of the lamest theories or solutions to whatever has happened last night. We saw Pakistan got absolutely thrashed. Pakistani batters did not have any idea. Look at the way that they were batting against Kuldeep. They could not understand what was going on. It is, like you said, a flawed strategy to distract the fans from the fact that it is an absolutely incompetent and pathetic team which would not even stand a chance against India's under-19 team. But at the same time, this is a very lame attempt at causing or stirring a controversy when there's absolutely nothing there. If Mohsin Naqvi thinks that Pakistan's prestige has been hampered by Indian players not shaking hands with the Pakistani players, then what do you say about the fact that Indian lives were lost at behest of state-sponsored terrorism from Pakistan?
Is Naqvi reacting as Interior Affairs Minister, or is he reacting as a citizen?
Exactly.
There has to be a sense of neutrality about the position on the post that he's holding, and that's not coming through. For a moment, just to give a counterpoint of view, I mean, supposing that India had lost this match yesterday, okay, so then what would have happened in terms of
Would they still say this?
Yeah, what would have been the tirade? I mean, you look at both sides of the coin. Because you had this result, this is what is happening now. If India had lost, what would they say? I mean, and then have still refused to shake hands.
Yeah, they would have
What
said
would be the chatter at this point of time?
I don't think Pakistan would even raise it. In fact, they would rub it in, saying, "अरे देखो,
Point proof.
sore losers, handshake नहीं किया, चले गए, ये किया, वो किया, फलाना thing करा." They would have said that. Yeah.
So then, where's the consistency?
चलो आगे question लो. Will this continue? Ah, nice question. Who is this? Shashwat. Will this no handshake policy continue with the Women's World Cup? And
Policy.
Oh, good question. Yeah, I'm now intrigued to see what will happen in the women's World Cup. Do you think they'll also refuse?
100%. In Colombo, why should they? No, we
No
don't need
reason.
to be.
No reason.
In fact, we were talking about this yesterday and then this morning. For all you know, this might become
No.
a norm, a symbol of protest.
Do it.
सफर बोल रहा है हम लोग भी किया है.
Did you actually?
I read of it. I told Ryan that day. That's it. I mean, I asked a serious question. Whether they got a hit from that and went ahead and that. On a serious note, no. They must have thought about it. But it is. You think about it. This was always waiting to happen.
And Suryakumar Yadav also in that press conference yesterday made it very clear. He was specifically asked about that handshake. Made it very clear that the call was taken from above. That, the orders had come from above. That what they did was in line with BCCI and the government. Those were his exact words. So it's not something that they just
He
came up
said,
with
he
on
said
a
something
whim.
significant.
Yeah.
He said, some things cannot are way beyond your
sportsmanship.
And he's right. He's right.
I mean, also you could stretch this. I mean, tomorrow you could then question saying why is this team wearing black armbands?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Anything. You symbolically use the sporting field for protest. Now he has taken the microphone and said this at the presentation. Now you will say politicize the presentation. How can you say it on the mic? It's my job. I've said it. You want to reprimand me? Reprimand me. You want to fine me? Fine me. Who cares? A sports field makes for it. That is why people wear jerseys which have certain colors. You make that point. How many examples do you want me to give where people have done things and taken a flag out? Remember that guy who lost that gold medal to Navdeep? He had gone and taken out a flag in that Paralympics. He was disqualified or whatever. But the point is, sports has always, Tommy Smith, John Carlos, I've given this example a million times before you all. But sports allows for peaceful demonstrative protest. The Tibet March in Delhi in front of Jantar Mantar ahead of Beijing. Thousands came. Thousands. Human rights will always be highlighted. The human rights issue ahead of Olympic Games will always be highlighted. You know why? Because some of these countries who have dubious human rights records, that point, they are the focus of the world. And the world media has the opportunity to highlight it. Will happen. Suryakumar Yadav and the Indian team, by the way, it's not just Surya. Gill has tweeted. Gautam has tweeted, BCCI has tweeted. So clearly, it was a well thought out, conscious move. That it's not Surya on his own who's going and saying Pahalgaon and martyrs. No. India had thought this through and they've done it. But question, Gargi, is what will happen next Sunday? You reckon the same thing will happen?
Same thing will happen. And then what will Mohsin Naqvi say? What will they say? Because really, I can't wrap my head around the fact that this is being turned into such a huge debacle or ordeal because there's really nothing there. The two look at the Indian team. They are just trying to do what is right for them, what is right for their country. The fact that they're playing the Asia Cup is a big thing. Ryan also said that there was a waiting period. They were not sure of whether they were coming to Dubai or not to play the tournament. And now that they finally come, there was so much tension back home as well. The public was absolutely divided yesterday morning about the boycott and all of that. But this is what the public actually wanted, and in no world did I ever imagine that India would go out actually and shake hands with them.
Why should they?
No.
Somebody is saying Pakistan has threatened to withdraw from the Asia Cup.
Good.
एक बार इतना भारी डैमेज क्लेम और कॉम्पेंसेशन देना पड़ेगा, क्रिकेट बंद हो जाएगा इनका. Even if there is a rule, who cares? जो करना है कर लो. Pushing league में.
True. What's the worst they can do?
Will India do the same in the next game on Sunday?
They will.
Jainil, the whole affair, contrived nature of the tournament and the media focus on silly dramas makes Asian cricket look very amateur and childish, to be honest. PCB especially embarrassing. Well, mature questions. Being an Indian, I don't get why India shouldn't have played this match. Okay, so that's a different point of view coming. Why should they not play? They wanted to beat them on the field and off the field. They're very right in doing so. Why not? Why not? But Suryakumar Yadav, overnight hero. Gargi, first thoughts, then Ashok. All of a sudden, everything has changed. Yeah, as in
everything
the whole narrative around Surya, from being trolled on that day for shaking Muslim Happy's hands to becoming this.
And then after that, the pictures of him shaking hands with Salman as well came out. Because initially people had thought that he did not do that, but he did. And then he got trolled twice for the same thing. But now, and the way that he conducted himself in that post-match press conference as well was very, very mature of Surya. The right kind of message was sent. Everything that he said, I think it must have been practiced or at least meticulously planned on what was supposed to be said. And he did a very good job. He came out there in the presentation and got straight to the point. No nonsense. Said that we dedicate this win to the victims and the armed forces, and that we also feel the pain. But overnight hero, yes, I woke up this morning and I was checking Twitter and social media, and every single reel was Suryakumar Yadav and that statement of his. Constantly, I'm scrolling two reels and that video is coming up again. I mean, every single person is talking about that.
Somebody saying, are we going to see India-Pakistan on 21st? Maybe not. UAE is beating Pakistan.
See, I started this debate about, are we closer? Is the Pakistan team closer to the performance of associate nation, or is it befitting, the stature of a team like that? It's wide open. Anything can happen. I mean, what we saw yesterday, I think definitely doesn't measure up.
ओजस्वी थापा, इनसे अगर हाथ मिलाए तो हार्दिक का वॉच तो गया, वो क्रॉस का वॉच तो वो रिचर्ड मिल पहनता है.
Yeah,
रिचर्ड मिल पहनता है and the higher end of it. नहीं रिचर्ड में वो दूसरा मॉडल जो पहनता है, it's a very higher end of Richard Mille पहनता है. And he follows watches. He and I have discussed watches multiple times. He follows watches. Pakistan का औकात ने boycott again, that whole boycott thing is coming. Okay. This one is bad news is Murali Srishankar has unfortunately failed to qualify for the finals in Tokyo. I would have wanted desperately for Murali Sarvesh Kushare made it yesterday with a 2.25. Unfortunately, Murali Srishankar not making it to the finals in Tokyo would have been a dramatic end to the comeback story. It would have been a great comeback story, unfortunately. But nonetheless, I mean, he will come back strongly next year with the Asian Games, the Worlds, and everything else. The fact that he made it to Tokyo in itself is a huge success story. But that's the breaking that we are getting. Pakistan came here to play baseball. They were absolutely slogging.
I think we talked about it even sitting in the press box. When Varun came on to ball, I think those 4 overs, it was pretty evident that the batsmen were not able to read him, and the shots were all over the place. I don't know if it's a lack of application or whether it is lack of exposure, but clearly there are searching questions to be asked. Instead of doing that, I think we are going after diversion tactics here.
So is Naqvi actually, by doing this as the head of PCB Gargi, is he doing a disservice to his own cricket? That you're not trying to find faults within the team, the quality of cricket, and you're trying all this. Will it actually help Pakistan?
Because if all this attention had been directed towards why Pakistan is so bad at the moment, why the cricket team is so bad, what is going on behind the scenes, why are these players being selected when they're so bad? I think it would actually do Pakistan some good. First of all, not only is he doing disservice to his nation, he's also doing disservice to his job and his role. He's supposed to be very neutral and very neutral about the way that he goes about things. But clearly, with the tweets that we've seen, he's taking sides here.
And it's not a flash in the pan. We're not talking about one match. Yesterday I spoke about how if you take the last few months, their ability not to post large totals, medium to large totals, for example, their performance in Christchurch, their performance against New Zealand in March earlier this year, there are searching questions to be asked. If you look at the record against India in the last, let's say, 10 T20s, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, India has won 7 or 8 out of them. And I think I'm surprised that this morning there have been very little being asked about a searching analysis of that question. And I go back to the question that I asked, if India had lost this match, what would have been the analysis of that part of time?
ये क्या है सीधे रन मैप etc etc. Surya gave an ultimate press conference yesterday, answered with honesty and precision, respect, fit monk.
By the way, have you seen that reel that Rohit Juglan and Shubhayan have put out? So they are unreal. I mean, these fans. So one fellow at midnight has this blue pair of sunglasses. Okay, Pakistani fan wrapped around with the Pakistani flag and is going. So our own Rohit Juglan tells him, "Arey bhai, chashma kyun pehne ho?" So he's saying, "Nahi bhai," and he's walking. So Rohit tells him, "Arey आंसू छुपाने के लिए चश्मा पहने हो क्या?" Because he has this blue and blue is fluorescent blue pair of sunglasses.
Oakley's. Yes.
Whatever sun,
Yeah.
maybe not. I mean, you can make out anyway.
Yeah.
So he's wearing that and he's going. So Rohit is asking, so ये आंसू छुपाने के लिए क्या? He turns and he says, "Jai Hind."
I also saw some reels about fans.
That is surreal.
And that reel has gone viral. They cut this guy with a Pakistani flag around. He says, "Jai Hind," and he walks on. Rohit Chugla says, "Arey kya bola ऐसे?"
I saw this reel about a Pakistani fan, and he came up to someone, one of the media person, and said, "Please next time, please boycott कर दो, हमें finals पहुंचना है." हम ये रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं इंडियन पब्लिक से कि आप ये मैच बॉयकॉट कर दो अगला वाला.
See how the narrative has changed. So now, never do we boycott.
No chance. Why the hell do you want to boycott?
Yeah, beat them.
और हम considering the Pakistan performance, एक दूसरे से भी हाथ नहीं मिलाने चाहिए. This is a good one. वो जो बोल रहा है, considering the performance, Pakistan players को एक दूसरे से भी हाथ मिलाना नहीं चाहिए. What is this? शिवांगी 80 नाम का जर्नो कल मैच के बाद बोलने लगे, कोहली के टाइम गले मिलते थे भाई, 2024 तक जीजीबी अक्रम से मिलते थे, कोहली ओन्स पीसीबी इस साल भी 100 है, पर इन जर्नल्स का एजेंडा ही नहीं रुकता है.
कौन सा एजेंडा? Well, first of all, what is the point of your
Confusing, yeah. क्या सवाल है? So I couldn't understand.
80 नाम का जर्नल 80.
जो भी.
हाँ, anyway, कल मैच के बाद बोलने लगे कोहली के टाइम पे गले मिलते थे भाई, 2024 तक जीजीबी अकरम से मिलते थे, कोहली ओन्स पीसीबी इस साल भी 100 है, पर इन जर्नल्स का I have no clue what this.
What is she trying to say? Can you explain in a simple question, Shivangi? I mean, we would happily take the question.
But yeah, what's the point? Like, she's hitting on someone, but I can't understand who she's hitting on. I don't know.
जो last few minutes और कुछ सवाल है तो ले लो.
Acha. Prasenjit Mitra is saying, the cherry was Sky's jibe on the importance of India versus Pakistan match. Sky said with a smirk that people watch India-Australia, India-South Africa. He intended that the name India matters.
It's true.
100%, yeah. And
It's true. 80% of world cricket revenues.
And which is the highest attendance? It's the Indian fans. Boria sir, a quick question. Context. Are there any additional metro/ferry services announced for the Asian level clash where Mohan Bagan will represent India versus?
Devashish Sen is Rahul Giri is the person.
Yes.
I honestly don't know because it's difficult to tell you from sitting in Dubai, but you should ask Rahul Giri and Devashish Sen on Rev Sports Bangla and you'll get it.
I think this question on Bumrah's 3 overs is an interesting one.
What is the question?
Devan Majumdar is saying, not sure if Bumrah should have bowled 3 overs in a row. Firstly, he was a touch scratchy in the 3rd over, conceding more than usual. Also, just him being the fast bowler, we should have him for the death overs.
He bowled 3 in the first also. I thought it's a well planned out thing that power play you will use 3 of Bumrah with your spinners and the wicket dry.
You know that your spinners can continue till the 17th or the 19th. Bumrah bowled the 19th yesterday, and that's how they kind of planned it. But even in the 19th, remember, he went for close to 16, 17 runs. He bowled that no ball, which considered a couple, then that hit. I think Sufyan Mukim back-to-back boundaries there. So it's not as if Bumrah had the greatest this thing yesterday, but that's fine. I mean, he eventually bowled Sufyan Mukim with that last ball where he shuffled across. Bumrah will, and I don't have a problem with Bumrah bowling 3 because clearly Sky is trying to put pressure in the power play and get one additional wicket. Yesterday they got 2, and he's going with his best bowler. I don't have a problem.
Ayush Sharma is saying, why did we have to show such shallowness out there on the field yesterday? Either opt out of the tournament or just behave.
Why? What do you mean? You
They acted in perfect civility.
Absolutely. And when somebody wins an Olympic medal and uses the prize podium to make his larger point, if he opts out of the tournament, he misses out on that opportunity to make that larger point. Now think about 1936, when the March Past was on. 2 countries, India and America, did not do the Hitler salute. Go and read my book. America and India did not perform the Hitler salute in Berlin in front of Adolf Hitler, making the point which became a global headline. And they used it, and even 100 years later, we are talking about the Indian Act and the American Act of doing this in front of Hitler. What is the problem with India? I think India has done the absolute right thing by doing what they did.
Okay, final few questions?
100%.
Okay, Prasenjit is saying the ref sports team is looking so relaxed, and yesterday all of you were super charged up, especially Rohit and Shubhayan.
They relax because Gargi has slept till 11:30, Ashok has slept till 11, and I have slept till 12. Literally. I mean, all of us have had a relatively easier morning because that has kind of given our bodies some rest as well. Ashok and I met for lunch. I don't know if she's had lunch or you skipped lunch.
No, I had.
Okay, so that's why. I mean, the work is heavy. So physical pressure is also there. And now that we have our jugaad with our garden umbrella, we are more relaxed. You should see that video. By the way, Ashok's, it hasn't been put because we did all this news, but Ashok's group's friends have gone bonkers.
People are talking about the video, so you have to watch this video. Watch this space.
We will put out a video which will make you guys go mad.
Ayush is still saying that could have been done without lowering your own self.
What is the lowering of self?
How did you lower your own self? You walked off the field. How is that lowering yourself? You did not shake hands with the country that you. No.
In my case, for example, if Ridhiman Saha ever walks up to me and wants to shake my hand, he's a liar, damn it. I will not shake his hand. I don't consider him a decent enough human being. Simple as that. End of story. I don't want to associate with somebody like that. So it's my prerogative.
Okay, Irfan Khan is saying ref sports का क्या opinion है? आगे भी जाके handshake करना चाहिए?
नहीं करेंगे. मैं तो पहले दिन से कह रहा हूँ भाई, खाली हैंडशेक क्यों? बाकी दूसरा भी सोचो क्या क्या कर सकते हो. मत करो. नहीं करने का.
You can afford the fines. It's okay.
क्या फर्क पड़ता है? कुछ भी कर लो. नहीं करेंगे. If you tell me that if Mr. Naqvi is tweeting nation first, and he's right, Indians will also say nation first, and they're right. It is my prerogative. Who I want to Fahim Ashraf is filth. And I'm serious now. I don't want to associate with Fahim Ashraf. I've taught him a lesson on the cricketing pitch, and I've walked off. I've made my point. Go to hell. It's as simple as that. Come on. And lots of nonsense also going around. I mean, somebody said Fahim Ashraf has scored 11. It is the 11 Pakistani terror camps which were born. One for each. कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं वो अलग बात है. But on a serious note, India are well within their rights to behave with civility and dignity and grace. And the grace is we don't want to disrespect ourselves and our people by shaking hands. End of story.
On that note,
खत्म करिए.
all right, we'll be back very soon. We'll be back.
कितने
India,
8 बजे एक live
8
करते
बजे India time.
8 बजे इंडिया टाइम एक लाइव
Yes.
करते हैं. By then this
Let's see what
controversy will,
happens.
या कुछ ना कुछ तो पाकिस्तान
Yeah,
करेंगे.
next developments we will update.
We will.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thanks so much.